are you back? So what I want you to do is I want you to take some tape or get a big sheet of paper with a marker, or better yet, go outside with a piece of sidewalk chalk or get some sticks, and I want you to make a 6-square grid wherever you decide to do this. So as you can see, I've made a grid out of tape here, but like I said, you can do it out of sticks or sidewalk chalk as well, and make 6 equal squares for a grid. And then I want you to label each square with the name of your 3D shape. So I don't know if you can see this, but this one says cylinder. So I labeled this one cylinder. I put my label just down there in the corner. You can put it wherever. I labeled this one cone. Okay, so label each one. You should have a section that's labeled cylinder, a section that's labeled cone, a section that's labeled rectangular prism, a section that's labeled pyramid, a section that's labeled sphere, and a section that's labeled cube. Once you do that, I want you to sort each of your items into their correct square in your grid. So you can go ahead and pause me now, and you can do that. Okay, so welcome back. So I already had all my items in their correct square. I already sorted them and organized them where they went. So I just want to show you what I found. So for my cone section, I found this popcorn that was in a bag that was shaped like a cone. So I put it in my cone section. And then I had this funnel that I showed you earlier. Cones have this circular base, and then they go up to a point. So that's my cone. You may have found an ice cream cone. Like I said earlier, I don't have one. So for my cylinder section, the thing with 2 circles, one on top, one on bottom, and then a curved surface all the way around for a cylinder, I found this candle, along with the jar I showed you earlier, and a tub of Play-Doh. So all of these are cylinders. Good chances are you found a bunch of cylinders laying around your house. Okay, for pyramid, like I said, I didn't find anything, but I hope you did. If you did, you can leave me a comment and tell me what you found. Okay, so for rectangular prism, I found this box of snacks. And remember, the most important thing to remember about this is 3D shapes have dimension. So for my rectangular prism, when you look at it from this side, it's a rectangle. But then when I turn it like this, it has dimension, it has width. And so this is a rectangular prism, along with the shoe box I found earlier, and a pack of gum. So even though this pack of gum is really thin, it still has dimension. It's not like that sheet of paper we looked at earlier. Okay, for my cube, I have the number cube that I showed you earlier. Then I also found a dice from a board game, so both of these are cubes. And then lastly, for my sphere, I found the bouncy ball that I showed you earlier. Pretty much any type of ball is going to work. So I have a softball, and then I also have like a red kickball. And so these are my 3 spheres. So once you have this done, I want you to find a sheet of paper. You can pause me once again to go get your sheet of paper and a pencil or a marker. And I want you to fold this sheet of paper in half, hot dog style, okay? So fold your sheet of paper in half, hot dog style. And then when you open it, I want you to label 2 columns, same and different, okay? Label your 2 columns, same and different. And then you are going to label within each column, you are going to label sphere, rectangular prism, cone, and cube. If you found a pyramid, add it to your list. I didn't. Okay, so once you've done that, and you have your column labeled same, different, and then you have each 3D shape with dimension, shapes that are inflated or puffed up, listed down the columns, I want you to tell me what's same and what's different about each of the items, about each of the 3D shapes. So I started with my sphere. And I said the same thing about my spheres. The thing they all have in common is they all have the same shape. So that's kind of an easy comparison. You might come up with one that's a little bit harder to come up with, but look at your shapes, look at your spheres, and determine what do they have in common, what's the same about them. So I put their shape. Then after that, go to your different column and write what's different about the items in your sphere block or in your cube block or whatever shape you're working on. But I put their size is different. I have a big sphere right here compared to my bouncy ball that's just a little sphere. And then I also put that their colors are different. So I have a red ball compared to a yellow ball compared to a green and yellow ball. So whatever you want to do, but I want you to make a sheet of paper and label it and tell me what's the same and the different about all your items.